Good evening, ladies and gents. So today's video is all about the compact. So I've had a lot of questions, and I get it. I get why you're going to ask me this question, but a lot of questions is why on earth would you go for a compact, sell a beautifully set up JZX 100 Mark II, and go back almost a whole 15-year reversal and go back to an E36. So I thought I'd do a quick video today, run you through why I've done it, and two, what I'm spending on it, what I'm doing on it, and the reasons why I'm doing it, the money involved in doing something like this. Because I had a guy message me today saying, "Oh, can I buy the compact?" Well, I had two messages today. We've got people asking to buy the compact, and when I told them how much I've spent on it over the last month alone, they said, "Why? Why would you spend that on a compact?" But there is a reason. So to start off with, obviously you all know the JZX 100, absolutely awesome car. I love it. It's probably the best car I've ever owned in my life. Like it's absolutely incredible. It skids well, and people say, "Well, why are you selling it then?" The reason is I got away lightly last time when I clipped the driftland wall, all repaired, absolutely perfect. But if I do that again, and I completely smash the rear end off the car, then you've got a 20 to 25 grand motor, which is now, it's just going to be a battered drift car. It's just drift value, isn't it? It's like, you know, it's not going to be worth anything apart from if you part it out. Where at the moment, it's a really nice car still. And, you know, it's going over to Holland soon. So, you know, what the gentleman's bought that car for, I've been able to build it'll be a really competitive E36. I can get a truck and I can get a trailer out the same money as one car. So the bottom line, that is the bottom line basically. So I wanted something that was still cool, that I've driven before, chassis that I've driven before. I absolutely love E36s. I've told everyone I've owned hundreds and hundreds of Jap cars, but I always love to skid BMWs. I don't know why, it's just a thing, you know. There'd be pure die-hard JDM fans going, "Oh, that's ridiculous," but they're great. They work, they're good. So yeah, so let me just run you through. I'll spin the camera and I'll show you what's been done so far. So this was Toya's compact. It already had the 2.8 in it, M50 manifold. She took this to Driftland, not last time, but the time before. It absolutely rips this thing. It's so fast for a little compact. So having that in mind, obviously these engines now, M52 B28s, they used to be 300 quid, and now they're like £1,000 plus. But it's a damn sight cheaper than me blowing up a 1J, which is 5 grand plus now. You know, it would come to the stage where if I blew that engine up drifting, I would be waiting months and months and months. And the idea is that we get out drifting regular. That's the whole thing nowadays. Like, I'm finally in a position now with the business, Violent D, that we are quite busy. You know, it's for me, that's what I've always wanted to do with my time. Drifting is what I love. And I'm lucky. I'm in a position. I've got so many good friends now, which we book up private hires at Driftland, and we go 2 or 3 times a year. You know, there's Teesside up the road, there's Three Sisters, there's Pod, there is still a lot of UK drifting going on. I know it's not the golden days with the Lydden Hills, well, even that Lydden Hills still runs, but it's just wet. But the Rockinghams, all that sort of stuff. But, you know, it's still going on. And I wanted a car that, one, I could drive really aggressively and drive with my pals, you know, not worry about getting damage on it, where the JZX I did worry, like, you know, it's always in the back of your mind, "Oh my God, I'm skidding a 25 grand car." I said, if I could buy this car and do everything I wanted to it for under 10 grand, I know it sounds a lot for a compact, but realistically, when you start building these things, that is just what they cost. If you want to buy cheap, coilovers, stuff like that, you can do it cheaply, but I've always found it just they don't last, they don't feel right. So I was like, sod it, this time around I'm going to build a really nice compact this car was probably sacrilegious to cut up because it had done 60 something thousand miles. It was the mintiest shell I've ever seen, and I've hacked all the arches out for the over fenders and stuff like that. But anyway, let me run you through costings, which I've done this month. It adds up to quite a bit. I know it will, and it'll shock me when I start adding it up. But let me run you around it, show you what I've done, and then, yeah, go from there. Right, so if I start with the visual things first, I'll go down for even the stupidest little bits. So I've got a number plate blank in here. That's going to be 40 quid. Eyebrows, they're 30 quid. The extended front lip, that was 120 quid. You move over to the over fenders from Fibre Factory. I had these on my white one. I'll put it up in the post now. So yeah, that was my white one. Same over fenders. They're really, really amazing quality, actually. They're really good over fenders. Sort of felony form looking. They were 300 quid for the front and rear over fenders. And then you've got the roof spoiler and the boot spoiler, the drag wing. They're from KZ Klee. They're from KZ Klee. I think that was... Oh, I don't know actually, but I think both of these come to about 300 quid in total. So, yeah, I mean, even the cosmetic stuff adds up. Wheels, obviously, 17 by 9J Buddy Club P1s. I've always loved Buddy Club P1s, and these are the early flat face ones. ET27 all round. These were 1,200 quid. I've got a full compact cup cage coming, which I found second hand. That's 1,300 quid. There's 2 seats coming from option B. They're 450 a seat, so that's, what's that, 900 quid. Then you get onto the suspension side of things. So these are the new True rears. They're the RM series. They were about 1,250 quid. PMC shifter, that's about 160 quid. And then obviously you've got stuff like, I've had all the stuff painted. That's another 200-300 quid. Tyres. So when people say, oh, you can build a compact really cheaply, you can, but if you want quality parts, you can't. And I've always thought, if I'm going to sell my JZX, why would I scrimp on parts? I might as well just get all the bits that I want for it. Just be done with it. I've got a no rear bumper coming. That was 200 quid. That was an M Sport rear bumper. So yeah, it really does start adding up. So if I quickly jot that up, just them parts alone, and I'm not even finished yet. Obviously the lock kit was already on this. Oh yeah, wheel spacers, obviously adapters. I've got adapters going from 5x120 to 5x1 4.3. They was like 200 quid. So that's what I mean. You just forget, and it just adds up and adds up and adds up. But the good thing is these parts are available and they're readily available. So next time I go drifting, I can be door on door with people, and if I smash a rear quarter off or someone doors me, I can just go and buy a door, or I can just ring up Fibre Factory and go, all right, can I have another rear over fender, paint it Boston green, good to go again, literally like next day. You know, suspension parts, so many lock kits for these now. Like, it's just such an easy car to be skidding. And that was my whole point around getting something that I can use more regularly. So yeah, so as much as I'm going to miss the JZX, I will miss it. It's been, I've loved it and I've built it how I want it. But there's a lot to be said about having a BMW skid car. They're just easy. It's just so easy. Yeah, I'm not willing to put the amount of money into the jack cars now to be repaired. That said, Toy's about to buy another S14 Sylvia JDM import, and that's great. I completely get that if you're using it as a nice car, but for me to smash up round track, it's just not worth it. But yeah, it's stuff like this as well. Like, I've been making the clear rear lights for this, so I love having a go at stuff myself, and I've made myself a set of clear rear lights. I'll show you. You might have seen it in a couple of videos back, but you know, they're just super cool, aren't they? There's something different. And if I smash them off on track, I can literally just cut a new lens and stick it on again. So yeah, it's I'm just excited to get this thing built and out again. So we're going drifting, Driftland. We've got a 2-day private hire again on the 16th and 17th of September. So there's 20 of us going up there, and I'm just like a kid in a candy shop. So I can't wait. I'm just so excited. Cage should be in next week. I went for a bolting one. I was going to use John, Metal Monkey Motorsport. He's a brilliant welder, absolutely incredible, but one, I wasn't too sure how long I'd have it, as I always buy and sell cars, chop and change them, and also I want to drive this car in anger. So if I do absolutely bend this car, you know, what's a compact shell, like 600 quid? It's nothing really. I can unbolt the cage and rebolt it. Everything will unbolt off this and bolt into another car. So that's the whole thing. I want to drive with my mates. I want to drive aggressively with my mates, and this thing will let me do that. So yeah, let me have a little tally up what I've spent so far and what I'm I've still got to get harnesses. That's it. So the harnesses are going to be what, probably 100 and I don't know, what's the TRS harness now? 100 quid. Most 4-point harnesses around 100 quid. So it's going to cost me another 200 quid for harnesses. But then that car should be built to the highest spec that you can build a compact, basically. So yeah, no, I reckon if I've kept it under 10 grand, including buying the car off Toya, which was 2,700 quid, it will do me a turn, basically. So yeah, no, I'm pretty excited to get out and drive a BM again. I must admit, an E36. I took my E30 touring around Driftland a couple of years back, and it was absolutely rad. Like the little 2.3 in it, bone stock 2.3 in it, ripped, absolutely ripped. So this thing is going to be incredible. I also picked up some really super rare, actually, raised Volk wheels. I think these are GT Dash A, I think they're called. They're only 17 by 8, but they should look all right on the back, just for skid rims, really. But yeah, they was 200 quid. So yeah, let me do the tally up. I don't know if I want to do the tally up, but let me do the tally up, and then I'll show you what this whole project will be done, you know, from start to finish. There will be a couple more little bits, obviously there always is. Stuff that I forgot about. Obviously, bonnet, I'm making a custom vented bonnet for it for help with the cooling. That still needs painting. Jake will need to paint that. I was going to wrap it a Larry colour, but I really like the Boston green on it. So yeah, just gonna keep it the Boston green. It's easy, like I say, it's easy. If I damage it, I can just literally tie it in. I'll literally tie it up again. So yeah. Anyway, so that is the reason why I'm not keeping the JZX, and it's the reason why I now own a BMW. Yeah, so that's the reason. But anyway, I think it looks super rad, and I think once that car is low, obviously this is all just jacked up at the moment. This ain't even on, because I need to get another spacer on there. But once that's sitting like that, it's going to be absolutely incredible. Yeah, so I've just sat down and actually worked it out. It's actually quite shocking when you start adding it all up and seeing what you spent, because I've added up a few more other bits that I completely forgot about. Let me spin the camera around. So yeah, that's the list. So obviously the car was 2.7, light brows 30, front splitter 120, over fenders 300, the KZ Klee rear spoilers 310, but that is in euros, so it's just shy of what, 280 quid. Cage 1300, coilovers 1200, seats 900. Then there's M-Tech brakes, which I bought, which I forgot was 160. Then there was this section here, which is M Sport rear bumper, front and back strut brace, spare diff and shafts. That would come to 490. Wheel spacers are 200. The Bloody Club P1's at 1200. Raised skid wheels were 200. Two harnesses at 200. There's some new tyres on there, which were 260. And I'm still without a steering wheel because I've given Toya the Uras one. The Uras steering wheel, obviously I didn't want to get knackered up in the compact, so she's going to take that for a nice Sylvia. So yeah, it'd be cool. So just adding that up, parts alone are 6,870 quid. So this is the thing, when people offer you £3,000 just because it's a compact, it doesn't, you know, it doesn't equate. It really doesn't, and that's without buying the car. So I said I wanted to be under 10 grand for the car and the thing, the car and the parts, and basically with the car being at 2.7, the parts being at 6,870, that's 9,570. So that's nearly £10,000 on a compact, and that is still without all the lock mods that was already on that car, the hydro that's on that car, even the engine conversion, the 2.8 ZF box, you know, all that stuff. If you was to start from a bone stock compact, you know, you're looking at like, what's that, 10, what's a box now, say 300, yeah, you're looking at like a 12, 13 grand build. And this is what I try and say to people, you know, if you're buying quality parts, these cars are no longer £3,000 cars. Yes, you can buy a compact for £3,000, but it won't have the parts on that you've, you know, that are brand new, all the fancy bits, they just won't have it. So, yeah, you know, when you look at a compact as being a £13,000 build, it's what it is. So, yeah, but anyway, yeah, I'm at 9,570 at the moment on that car, and I think personally, once that car's built, it's going to be very competitive. It'll be a great skid car, and yeah, all the parts will be brand new on it. So it's money well spent in my mind, and I'm not smashing around track in a £25,000 car. You know, it's just below. I think by the time I've got the steering wheel, another steering wheel, put some paint into it, it's going to be a just shy of sub £10,000 car. So I'm on track. So yeah, but I'm happy. I can't wait to get out skidding with it, and yeah, that's it. Anyway, guys, catch you soon.